wanted to talk about the intro music. Yes, I know it's different. I changed it. Our intro was originally created by a sponsor, and they put the music on it. And in January, our emails got flooded with copyright claims, and it involved a lot of work for me. I had to go back and dispute them all over the past, year and a half, 2 years that we've been active on YouTube. And at the end of January, it released them all. Somewhere in between there, it did affect our funding. And we thought we had it resolved and we were good to go. And then in February, it happened again. So that's why our videos were really light on February, is because we were working through that. We had mentioned that in our last live for our Q&A. We mentioned quite a bit of stuff, so if you missed it, make sure you go back and check it out. It's got a lot of good info in it. But anyways, at the end of February, all the February claims came back that we lost the battle. So had to do something. So I picked a music that was comparable to our original one, and I changed it. It's just intro music. If you don't like it, fast forward. Not a big deal, but that is the issue with that. I'm sorry if you don't like it. The next issue, I know a lot of you missed this in Crossville, Tennessee. I'm sorry. It was a last minute decision. I did not know if we were going to race or not until that previous Monday. And then it looked like we were going to go to Berkeley Springs, West Virginia up until, I think, Thursday. And the weather was going to look bad, and CJ decided to go to Crossville, Tennessee. Friday morning, I hopped on YouTube and I did a live that was where we were going. If you missed it, I'm sorry. It was very last minute. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. YouTube has a funny way of unsubscribing people sometimes and every so often, so make sure you're subscribed so you get those alerts. If you haven't noticed a pattern with us yet, this year I really wanted to hone in on race schedule and starting out with races that also had races in the beginning of the year and the end of the year. So we could go to the race at the beginning of the year, and if we don't do well, we're still gaining data for the end of the year. Almost everything that I plan to do, I do for a reason. I am strategic at planning things out and other avenues of our business, and it is a business. And with any business, you have to make sure that you're seeing a return. And that was part of my role in coming back into the racing program with CJ. And I did really well at it last year. We had the best year yet. So another thing with the races, our next race, because we are down this weekend, we are repairing the truck, as you will see in the videos following. And then the 13th and 14th were off because I do have to work. CJ also has to attend a benefit. We had donated a photo of Raggedy Ann and a piece of the old wreckage to an RC race over in Lancaster, Ohio at the River Valley Mall, and they asked for CJ to be present when they announced how much they had raised, so we can donate that to autism awareness of our choice. So we are down that weekend. Our next scheduled race is Lake Cumberland in Kentucky. We did not get to go last year because we seen the rain coming in. We knew that they would get started with the race, and we didn't want to drive down there and have to come back. So it was on a big bucket list for this year. They also have a race coming up in the fall, as does Lassiter Mountain that we were at earlier this year. See the pattern? So that is our next scheduled race. That is on the 19th and 20th of April. Racing starts at 6 on the 19th, Friday, and racing starts at 3 Saturday, the 20th. So we plan to be down there for that. If you didn't get to see us at Crossville, if you want to drive a little bit, or if it's closer, that's where we're going to be. I will have merch on hand for that. Another one of the comments that I have saw is that just go ahead and switch to the turbo car. I get that. I know some of you really like turbos, but here's the thing. We are just kind of tapping into what Raggedy Ann really is capable of. And if we up and go ahead and change the program to another car, we're doing nothing for the longevity of the program of Raggedy Ann. Consistency is what makes something successful. And we have proven that last year over and over again, and we've beat a lot of turbo cars. Like I said, there's still a lot left in Raggedy Ann that we're just tapping into and just figuring it out. And part of us figuring that out is going out of state and branching out and racing people that we've never raced and cars that we never raced. That is to help make us better and make our program better. So that's the strategy in that. If you haven't seen it, that's kind of what it is. And we wouldn't want to switch to the turbo car just because we lost one race. We've only raced twice this year, and We won one, we lost one. We learned something new. The car wasn't where CJ wanted it to be this last race. That was on him. He made some difficult decisions and they didn't pan out. But Crossfield, Tennessee does have quite a few backside races coming up. And we plan to come back to them and be there and do better than we did this time. We made it past first round and there's some pretty heavy hitters there. I wasn't sure when I seen the cars going down making the test pass if we were even going to be contender, and the fact that we made it past first round, that was pretty good. So it's just part of learning and evolving and becoming better at your program. There's nothing wrong with staying local. We did it for a long time and we kind of dominated it, and we got to where we're racing the same people all the time, and that doesn't really help push your program forward once it becomes to a certain magnitude. Now, if that's your comfort zone and that's what you like doing, that's great. But it also, with us expanding our program, it also allows for some of these newbies coming up to start dominating locally and help their program. So it's kind of like a hand helping hands. You help the newer generation coming up while you're still, evolving your own program. And that's kind of what it's all about. So another big announcement, we have opened our new shirt design up for the spectator giveaway for KD. I will post it up at the end of the video. Those are not in stock yet. Those are pre-order only, and it'll be a while before they're shipped. And I don't have any on hand right now for races. So just be patient with us, but we wanted to offer you guys something different for the spectator giveaway for Cash Days at the Hill. So CJ really was adamant about getting the new shirt design out there for you. So hope you enjoy it.
I'm not sure if I made it right, but I made a little contraption there to go in the rail and blow air into the high pressure system. And it's making a lot of noise. So I wonder what it could be. And how far or how deep it is to get to it. So I know what I'm doing in the future days. Tearing this thing apart again, digging down to find out where the high pressure oil system's leaking. Hopefully it's nothing too major. Hopefully it's just an O-ring. I'm not real sure what all would let it sound like that. So I can hear it on this side. I don't have anything opened up on the other side of the engine or anything like that. So I'll get it all tore apart and try to trace it down, see what I can find. Damn 6 liters. All right, we are here with the 6 liter. You can see I got a couple things off of it. It's noisy in here. I got a heater going and the air compressor is running right now. I was just told dinner's done, so I'm gonna take a little break, go in, eat some dinner, and then come back out and get to grinding. But I'm trying to get the valve covers off, at least this side for now, and then I'll go over to this side and try to tackle all that garbage. They don't make it easy, as you can kind of see here. I had a bolt or a nut and a stud here, then it had the bracket for that on it, and then another one back here that the transmission dipstick went on, and then right there is one, if you can see it, and then on back there is one. So we got one up top here, and then come across the top, which I've got a couple of them that's missing because they are stripped from, I'm guessing, being apart so many different people working on it. So that's where we're at. Try to get that off and figure stuff out. So, not 100% sure I found the problem, because I don't have the pigtail for the IPR to shut it. But we've got a lot of air coming out of down here in this hole. I have a bore scope, so I'm going to try to find my bore scope and see if I can see where that blows out at. But we definitely have a big leak. That's at 125 PSI. So can you imagine the upper PSIs of whatever these things are supposed to have? Ta-da! Now hopefully the batteries are good in it. And it shows that they're good. Cool. All right, so my thoughts are, I think an injector O-ring. That's what I'm thinking. I gotta get this rail off and see what we're in for. So I gotta get that rail off. This oil rail right here. And see what they look like. It will be nice if that's all it is. But I guess my question is, why did it blow an injector O-ring? They aren't that old, but I don't know. That may be the odd one, because I put a new set in it, and then that weekend it's a mess. So I had injector failures, and then got new ones, or sent them back to who built them, had them redone, put them back in the weekend that I put them in. Going to Virginia, I lost one. It went out, and then while in Virginia racing, and tore this thing apart to put an injector in it, figure out what was wrong, put an injector in it. So I don't know if it's that one or something, I don't know. It's got a lot of miles on it since then, so I would think that it would have showed itself before now. But until I get it apart and actually see for myself what it is, I guess I'm gonna go ahead and think that's what it is right now. I don't know if you can see it, but there is no O-ring in there. Show you the difference here. See the O-ring? No O-ring. Now, there's what's left of the O-ring. Oops, sorry, that I pulled out. Not much air. Not real sure what happened to the other part of it, but it is not in the injector where it's supposed to go. Pretty sure that's the issue. I do not know how to put them in, so I'm gonna have to figure that out. I can see that there's a snap ring of some sort in there, right there at the top, and then that little aluminum looking piece that's laying down in there slides up and down. So I'd assume it comes out, the O-ring goes in, the snap ring goes in, and we're good. I'm not sure, so I will probably phone a friend on that. But it was blowing a lot of air out. We are all 6 litered out here. There we go. So cool. I'm happy that I found that. I'm like real happy I found that. And I didn't have to tear too far into it. I was getting ready to pull this side apart and go through all the steps and all that stuff. And it showed itself right off. So I'm happy. Now to get it fixed. Okay, so this is where I'm at. I got it put back together. Sorry I did not get a lot of video on the assembly. I kind of just got started and kept going, to be honest. I had a spare injector. I tried to find some injector O-rings for where the nipple from the oil rail goes in it. And the dealership there in Circleville said that Ford doesn't offer them. So I ordered some from Thoroughbred Diesel, and then I had that spare injector that I took it out of, put it in the one that is in the truck, and then put it back together. Wasn't real sure everything was going to work, and I didn't video a whole lot, to be honest. So here we are, it's back together. I did prime the oil rail before I put it together, or before I put the ICP sensor in, put the valve cover, all that on. So that is all primed. I fired the truck and then shut it right back off, finished putting it back together. So it is back together. I'm gonna clear the codes and fire it up, and then air the tires up and just watch over it, make sure everything's okay. So see how many codes. It's still got the same codes. Which one is the ICP sensor? The sensor itself from where I had it unplugged, and the other one is the actual pressure code. So we'll go back out of that, clear codes. This is an old SCT tuner box, but it's what's on the truck, so. Says they're cleared. So let's fire it up and see what it does. Like I said, I did already fire it, so it should fire pretty easy. It actually fired up really easy anyway. No lights so far. I know it's loud, but hopefully we don't have any oil leaks. So there we go, it's running, it's together. A whole bunch of tools laying on it. I'll leave it run for a little bit there, see if it's got any oil leaks. Other than that, I think it's good. Hopefully it don't leak oil. We don't have any more issues. But it is a 6 liter, so I'm sure we'll have issues.
just coming back from Jags, which is about an hour away in Columbus. So we made the trip there and made the trip back. We're good to go. Okay. What all did you get?
Stuff I probably shouldn't.
Oh boy.
That was a return from 2020. Can't return there. And then a bunch of fittings and a mount for that. This is all for your car to hopefully keep it from smoking whenever you're hard on the throttle. So I got to weld some bungs in the valve covers and then run it to a tank to vent the engine. Right now it's got just one small line coming off the PCV or PCV. Yeah, it's just not enough. So from what I'm told is that if I do this with 2-10s, one off each valve cover, it should take care of the crankcase pressure that's pushing oil through the turbo and making it smoke really bad after I let off the throttle after making a hard pull on it. So we'll find out.
So while you're away, this was dropped off.
Yeah, it's a buddy of mine's truck. Brought it over here for some exhaust work. He's been working on it, just got it running. Wants to quiet it down a little bit so that he can start driving around, kind of doing some tuning and whatnot on it. But you can see it's a LS, carbureted LS deal. I think we're talking about putting a nitrous kit on it, and I got to get the exhaust on it, and then we're going to talk about nitrous and all that stuff. So should be a fun truck for him.
Making use of our weekend at home.
Yeah.
Little side work. Let's see how she sounds.
I don't know. I've never heard it, driven it, nothing.
It sounded pretty good when
I
he...
was supposed to be here when he came.
This weekend, I get the lovely task of finding out where our invisible dog fence has been split at somewhere when they widen the driveway. We've been having an issue with one of our dogs taking off, going down to a home that's being renovated down the road, and they're dumping stuff out there, and the dog has quite enjoyed stuff. So in order to keep him back in the boundaries, I gotta locate the fence so CJ can fix it. And I'm also on bird invasion duty. The past couple seasons we've been having trouble with birds nesting around our wraparound porch, and it's gotten to the point where it's quite the cleanup and we don't get to enjoy the porch that much. So I'm going to try a new method this year. Hopefully it works. It's a mess. Bird stuff everywhere, up there nesting in the eaves of the house. We also have Allie's graduation party coming up in a couple months here that we want to have out here. And we're going to be doing quite a few things like pouring the concrete for the back patio and stuff, and I would like it cleaned up. And don't want this mess around. So I purchased one of these handy dandy things here from Amazon. Hopefully that alleviates it and gets rid of them without hurting them too badly. But yeah, it's just a mess. Package from Chuck with On Tilt has arrived.
This is a new traction compound that's out.
Oh, stickers. Like it.
Sticky Icky, On Tilt Racing Production. Or product, sorry.
Oh, that's nice. Has a squirt bottle.
Yep, and it's got a thing so you can shut it and open it. So when you purchase from him, this is
The kit that
this
you
is what
get.
you get. Yeah. It'll be a gallon. I believe this comes, a squirt bottle comes with the purchase. Like you get it with the purchase.
Yeah, and this also now has its own Facebook page too. So if you look that up online, it's on there too.
On Tilt Racing Products, Sticky Icky, and Lippy.
Okay.
Stickers. Another gallon.
Another gallon.
We got. So I am just now getting this.
Put some of the bag.
We were set to test this. We were supposed to have been testing this a long time ago. So I just now got it. And we're gonna, when we start testing, I want to test this to the other stuff that I use. And see how it works.
Somebody must be here. The dogs are barking. Since we're talking about traction compound, right?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so you're sponsored by Chuck with On Tilt. You're currently not sponsored by a traction company.
No,
product.
no. I've got like stripper glitter hands me a little bit here and there whenever I see him or whatever. But I'm actually sponsored by Robert.
That gets your stripper glitter.
He's a stripper glitter dealer, so he is the one that gives me the stripper glitter, not stripper glitter.
Robert with Pennywise.
Yeah.
And have you ever tried rocket glue or anything like that?
I haven't dead set myself on it, so I've got a little bit of that left too. I have used it. I've tried mixing and playing with it. I mean, just being dead honest, I did a burnout down the road in it, and done one right next to it with stripper glitter, and like it was stickier than the stripper glitter. But I have not committed to testing with it now.
Or using it on races
Or
yet?
using it in an event, just because mainly I don't get to test a whole lot, and I know what the car's going to do on the stripper glitter, so I know how to tune accordingly. I don't like big change. Whenever, like if I'm expecting it to be better, I'm naturally going to put more power in it, and then I'm taking a chance of knocking the tire off, and I just don't like that. I want to test with something. But we are going to get the testing. Hopefully sometime soon. The weather breaks. I'm not a fan of the cold weather this year. I just don't have the drive, I guess. I'm beat.
It's harder the
So-
older you get.
I don't even know that it's that. It's just like, I don't. Last year I was heads in, and new car, we had a lot to do, and like this year it's like, I don't know. I went to that Digger Dynamite just tore me up.
Yeah.
I froze.
Yeah, it was really cold. So we're gonna give this a try.
Yeah, we're gonna play with it, see what we can do, and hopefully bring you all some content on it.
So make sure you go check that out.
Like I put it out there, good or bad. So Chuck's been a long-time supporter of me. He's backed me for several years now. We're going to see what his product can do. So
Here with the class, we went to the Airbnb for Crossville.
went to the Airbnb, and they had like little things in there for round ice and
Little square
ice.
for your.
So we ordered some. Now we got round ice. But
He's just fascinated by it. He's become an ice connoisseur. What are you, connoisseur?
No, I ain't. Just looks prettier in your drink.
Yeah, his little Crown Royal Blackberry that I spent hours going around Columbus
That's some good
purchasing
shit,
for
though.
him.
Like,
yeah.
I like it.
Everybody that's tested it seems to
I
like
think
it.
I like that better than the others that they have, the apple and stuff like that.
Yeah, so we're
I
all
haven't had the salted caramel.
stucked up on that for now.
Suppose to leave these set out for a couple minutes if they're stuck in there, and then pop it right out.
Yeah, let's look at the square ones.
Well, you just put those.
I just put them in, but let's show them. Right there,
Is it still water?
probably. So yeah, we got these from Amazon because
Because I wanted.
because he wanted them.
Yeah,
It's
they're
a
starting
it's a small thing, you
big
know.
old square cubes ice.
There you have it.
It's the little things that count. Ta-da! It said something about the edge that it leaves on. We're not that picky. It's just going in a glass.
So you know what he's doing this evening.
I mean, great.
So I ran in town real quick to get CJ and I dinner pickup, and it is the first Saturday of the month, and the first Saturday of the month is cruise night here in our little town. So the cars come up and down the strip and cruise. It is tradition. So you get to see lots of cool cars. A lot of people put out their lawn chairs that live here in town and sit out and crab watch. So I'll go in here and grab CJ and I's food, and I will probably roll back through town just to give you guys a little bit of more description of the cars that are cruising. Not gonna stay in town too long because I'm in the minivan. I talk about this being tradition here in Circleville because when CJ and I were younger, this is how we actually met. I was sitting on the hood of my Olds Cutlass, and we were uptown cruising, and we got to talking to each other, and that's how it happened. That's how it tends to happen for people in this town. A lot of people met their friends or their future partners here in town. It got really heavy trafficked a few years ago, and they kind of shut it down, and they've brought it back since COVID, and it's a good thing for the community and for the kids in town. It gives them something to do, staying out of trouble. And you get to see the cars that everybody's got hidden in their garages. They bring out the food trucks. And they also do benefits to raise money for good causes or have food drives too. So it helps out those people. Got a little bit of everything. I think CJ actually forgot this was going on. Allie's just getting off work, so they may possibly come back in here if it's not too late. Our town actually has its own Facebook site for this. It's called Take Back the Strip. In Circleville, Ohio, and they give details of all the events that they're going to hold for the upcoming weeks or first Saturdays of the month for it. Jeff Coleman is the gentleman that runs the site, and he helps get the info out. They have a donation sign up here, so they're collecting for something. I don't know what it is. I think the Humane Society this week. Oh, we're missing one over there. Oh, It's hard to do this while I'm driving. Oh my gosh, sorry guys. We even got bikes involved. They all just park, chat it up, have a good time. Stays pretty packed. Check that out. I'm gonna miss this truck. I really want to get in. There it is. Wire has been located on that side. CJ had to help with the gravel side. So now we have to connect the two.
This is just one spray paint.
It'll work.
Not if you didn't shake it up.
Can't do everything for you.
Something would be nice. I don't think the ball's gonna let loose.
Been in there a while.
That's what he told her.
So,
Take care.
going to King of Columbus at National Trail Saturday.
Yeah, that was dumb idea. Got a little bit bad information.
Quit shaking for a minute.
So I guess I was told that it wasn't, that it was a new surface as well. And instead of doing my own research, kind of went with it. So we've committed to going to King of Columbus, which isn't a place for my car the way it is. So probably going to be a duck. I'm going to make a few changes, but I'm not making a whole bunch of changes just because it's a lot of work. And I'm one guy. And then we've got the Cumberland race the weekend after, so I won't have to change everything right back.
And also, this National Trails goes off finish line beam, which we said we
Yeah.
typically don't do.
I didn't want to start with a tree and end with a beam. So it is what it is. We'll see what happens.
A little something different, so if you're around, you'll see us there. We'll be in and out until the race starts at 2 because we got some things going on, but if you want to stop in and see
Had
us.
absolutely zero plans or intentions of going to this. And then like it all got switched around this morning and post was put up and we committed ourselves to going.
So there we are.
Then we found out the information that it's not a new surface. All they did was put new burnout boxes in. The race surface wasn't touched, so
It is water burnout only,
I should be a good draw for somebody first round.
but we do things unexpectedly,
Yeah,
so
it is what it is.
here we go, ready or not.
Yeah, well, think of something and throw it in the car and see what it does. Not really all that straight, but it should be somewhere around in there.
Our neighbor's mowing. We're a little behind on that as well.
What is that?
Said our neighbor's mowing, we're behind on that.
Well, his yard's dry. Ours isn't really.
I'm going to make an attempt tomorrow to sink the mower, so we'll see how it goes.
That's what we got. That side's done. other than the cross member. Gonna fab that up. Actually, the owner of the truck's said he would do that. Just cut it through and he'll make a cross member or fab something up for that. So that's what we did. One side is done. Other than a turn down, turn out, whatever he wants. I gotta talk to him tomorrow about that. And then next is this side. I was gonna run it all over to this side, but he wanted it like duals like that. So that's what we did.
April and May will be our spectator giveaway for KD Cash Days at the Hill, and includes a 2-night stay at a cabin, a $50 gas card, a $60 Rowdy's restaurant card, and 2-day, 2 spectators entry fee. New merch is included and the original design as well. Make sure you purchase online to enter.